should be live in like 5 seconds.
And welcome back to Let's Stream Final Fantasy 1. This is now episode 5. And we are going here. Looks good on my end, Chibs. How's it looking on your end?
Looking just fine.
Alright, so this is episode 5. We're going to call this one Rage Against the Stream, right?
Rage Against the Stream. Yep.
We just had a little technical difficulties about halfway through our streaming time. It decided to just kind of cut out on us, so we are picking up where we left off. So let's play Final Fantasy 1, Episode 5, Rage Against the Stream was born.
And of course, I got bat blocked again.
You got bat blocked.
I'm going to conserve a little bit of MP, but I'm going to use the handy-dandy sleep spell. And put one of them asleep.
And we are looking awfully good.
And we have more gargoyles, which...
I am so sorry to leave you hanging there for a minute, Chimps. I had to answer a very urgent bell pepper question. The kids have all did cook tonight, which is great and glorious, and goodness knows they could use the practice, but how one properly cleans a bell pepper apparently got confusing. So, Mom to the rescue, yo.
Yep. I am attempting to look up how the fear spell works.
The witch spell?
The fear spell. It sounds like it should cause them to run away.
No, I thought. I could totally be wrong, but I was pretty darn sure.
Yep, fear causes the enemies to run away from battle. They seem to be here. Here they go.
Well, we have figured out the magical fear spell. Which, to be fair, should be magical since it's a spell, right? Right.
I mean, it comes in handy.
So, as everyone has guessed by now, yes, dinner is stuffed bell peppers. 4 cheeses, lots of yummy beef and pork sausage in that, and all sorts of other amazing goodness.
Yep. I kinda want some. Yep.
I will totally make you stuffed peppers. But little dude is in the kitchen with a knife, which is always a little nerve-wracking for me. Because much as I love the kid... Okay, so the other day the boys tried to cut french fries using a steak knife. They were seriously sawing at a potato with a steak knife. He now knows which knife to use for vegetables, but watching him handle my big old chef's knife, a little terrifying. He's not cut himself. It just looks like he's gonna lose a limb every time he does it. So. But he does have a set of watchful eyes in with it. Yeah, steak fries, exactly. Yeah, just trying to saw at the darn thing with the steak knife. I don't even... The other day I asked him to pick up the sticks that, blew down from a tree during a storm, and next thing I know, one of them's got a hatchet. No, off the ground, kids. We're not chopping down the trees. Ooh, now we have green. Have we seen the green ones before?
Yeah, we've seen the werewolves before.
I love how it looks like the white mage and the black mage as they, do their spells. It looks like they were trying to wipe their nose. I want to, give them a tissue.
I need a tissue with all the pollen in the air.
Yeah, it went from snowing on us to snowing, plant pollen on us. I'd like that whole to stop now.
I mean, the only times we haven't been under a pollen warning has been when it's been, super rainy.
And then the next day you get the mold warning, so not much of a help there. But yep, today is stuffed peppers for dinner. Tomorrow is enchiladas for dinner.
And today is also a rare double stream.
It is. Oh my gosh, Chibi, did we cross the streams? And as a girl, that has always sounded like a urinal joke to me. Maybe I just
I think it's supposed to be one.
Oh, is it? So I wasn't wrong. Ooh, look at that earth elemental. That's...
I actually like this, earth elemental.
Yeah. I like that design. We see something similar in 4 with some of the summons. But, Josh is noting that, yes, I talk about food even on streams. Yes, Josh, we will make you dinner too. But yeah, that earth elemental...
You weren't supposed to miss.
Is pretty awesome.
The earth elemental hits kinda hard, but...
Looks like he managed.
No, just... toss a
Yeah,
block on our warrior. And... raise his number of attacks.
Good fun. I do think that this is so far one of my favorite mob designs, though. A lot of the other ones, look like a big spider, or it looks like a, the wolves look like dogs. But this one actually looks... Okay, let's be honest. The ogre looks like She-Hulk with a mole. It's very confusing. But this one actually has that magical, mythological look to them without being overly ridiculous the way that the Minotaur can be with that tiny waist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh thinks it looks more like picking your nose than wiping them. Yeah, I know. I remember distinctly thinking as a mom that, whatever joke of evolution made a toddler's finger fit perfectly inside of his nostrils needed to be smacked.
I mean, at least the ogres look kinda ogre-ish. But the Minotaurs...
See, I don't think the ogres are much better, though. It's like She-Hulk put on an extra couple 100 pounds and got a mullet. The Minotaur looks like they wandered off from doing, Mr. America pageant with Arnold, though. So that's a look too.
Arnie.
I suppose it seems silly to be nitpicking on the art style. Back, late 80s, that was very much the art style that was prevalent.
Every hero was drawn to look like Arnie.
Way too many steroids. What do you think? Do you like that, now there's more than the one-size-fits-all thing?
Yeah.
But yeah, although I noticed now it seems less for women. Because we went from all guys must look like, they bench cars in their free time to now almost every actress is, they get blonder every year. And yeah, I'm scratching my head here to remember an actual brunette actress that got to stay brunette. Not many. So it seems like we're getting more varieties in how men can look as heroes, but they still haven't quite, caught up on those ladies yet. We do have a smattering of redheads. But considering red hair is genetically even rarer than blonde, I don't think we're quite making the progress. Although, to be fair, this month I'm completely in love with whoever writes the Wendy's Twitter stream. If you've not read Wendy's Twitter, as soon as we're done here, go read it because, oh my gosh. That is like a forest worth of shade getting thrown out.
It is one of my favorite Twitters.
It is my
Arby's Twitter is also good because they've got a lot of nerdy gamer stuff.
It may be my new favorite, completely guilty pleasure. I don't watch, reality TV. But, man, the snark on Wendy's Twitter is amazing. I do wish they'd bring back the ghost pepper fries. Those ghost pepper fries that was my jam.
The bacon
I'm not, shedding a tear.
Too bad, but I like the ghost pepper fries a lot.
Yeah. Although I did kind of eat your entire pack of fries once. Sorry. Jimmy was in the front seat, passed the bag back to me. I'm like, I'll have one. Next thing I know, there's 3 fries rattling around in the bag. Gave it back and tried to look cool. Did not work. I think the moral of the story is, if you hang out with Sadie...
He's dead before they decide to stone us.
Yep. I think the moral of that story is, if you hang out with Sadie, she will in fact steal all your dang food. Now, the cockatrices are another mob model that went through... here they're just sort of a random parrot thing. I have seen them be parrots. I have seen them be dinosaur-y lizard things. I've seen them be some sort of weird hippogriff between. They reused the name, but the model's completely changed.
The biggest one, the dodos in 14. And then they get used for the cockatrice, and it's like, no. That's not what they look like.
And I guess it sounds weird complaining that mythical beasts don't look mythical enough. But it's, the interesting continuation from one to the other on the art styles.
Well, some of the mobs, you have the same look for the most part throughout each game. And then you have a dead teammate.
Oh dear. Oh dear, 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 dear. That's what you get for walking around with a tiny pimp suit. I really do love that red mages continually look like pimps. But not like actual pimps, like 1970s Shaq, shut your mouth, gangster level pimps. It's an art choice I appreciate.
And I like that they keep it throughout every time the red mage shows up.
Like, if you saw a guy actually walking down the street in this outfit, you would laugh your tuchus off. Even the hat is just so far over the ridiculous level.
I'm so glad that the 14 red mage is gonna have the actual pimp hat.
Yeah. It's things that make me irrationally happy. And yes, one big clusterfuck indeed. These bats are like the villagers in Stardew Valley that always are standing between me and the doors and trying to walk through gracefully, but
Yeah.
every time. And then they get mad at me for not being able to magically walk through them, which has me confused.
Gotta love dogs. They're like, yeah, I totally don't need to go outside when, people are walking about. But when they start getting busy, oh boy, I need to go potty, like, right now.
Toddlers too.
Oh, come on, Swerky, go towards the door. Don't step on Zoe.
And today, in Chibi's Wild Animal Kingdom, we have animals that must tinkle right now.
Oh, mummies can put you to sleep.
Ah, good to know.
Is it me, or do you think the red mage should have more HP than the white mage?
Yes, if we're going by, old school logic, then yeah, the red mage should have more than the white mage. Do we have any gear on her that modifies her? And for some reason, white mages are always her. Like, granted, you can't really pick out a gender from here, but SE likes to make its healers female. Oh look, this bat talks back. Again,
Oh!
weird.
One shot the red mage.
Yeah, because he didn't have more HP than the white mage.
Wow. A creature with a region more than 3.
Which, it's undead. Why is it regioning? I could see if it had like a drain spell, but...
Or if it drained on hit, but...
Not mad at it, just confused by it. Also, our vampire is in fact a ginger, which, gives you that whole soul-sucking undead call-out right there. What do you think, Chibs? Are vampires soul-sucking undead, or is it just gingers?
Depends on the vampire. And we got the Star Ruby.
I like how you didn't say depends on the ginger. Thanks so much, by the way. For those of you who don't know, Sadie's hair is red.
And for now, we can't get further into the Earth Cave. And we have to walk all the way back out of this hellhole.
All the way back out of this hellhole. Sounds fair.
My first time I let the dog in before he decides to go on a grand adventure of bothering the neighbor.
Yeah, Sondron would like to point out that he is in fact a ginger too. Actually,
But are you
Sondron,
guys vampires?
am I vampires? I have several ex-boyfriends that will tell you that I am in fact a soul-sucking event. So yes, maybe. I might be able to make somebody give up the will to live. I'm just saying. Although we've discussed this, so I believe in the Fat Princess model of friendship and relationships. It says that basically I'm just going to feed you until you are too slow and have lost the will to run away. That's my idea of friendship. So yes, I might be actually a little soul sucking there. But at least the food's good. Also, Megan would like to add that she's not a ginger, but sometimes is soul sucking as well.
Alrighty then.
Well, shall us Dementors continue on this quest? I find it interesting that they decided, vampire cave, now with more bats. Because they're in other ones, but they seem to be just higher quantities. Yes, exactly. Suck the souls of the people that run that ISP. And again with the ogres with mullets. That might be the name of my next grunge band, Ogres with Mullets. It completely sounds like a grunge band. Actually, it sounds like somebody who would tour with Psycho Stick. Somebody shows up with a big old croquet hammer. Oh, we thought you said with mallets. Our mistake. And they're a wraiths. Which... Do you remember the Disney movie, The Black Cauldron?
Yes.
The wraith folk here is very much like the Horned King from the movie. Which also came out roughly around this time.
Oh look, it was the, it did poorly in theaters and all that, but I like the Black Cauldron.
It was great. It was very much how the Book of Three, the actual book was. But, it's some dark subject matter. When you start getting into self-sacrificing and dead barnyard animals, just like some other Disney movies that maybe had heavier topics than, what you consider Disney. Not that they need another watered-down princess story either.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think kids can handle much darker stuff than we give them credit for.
I remember Secret of Nim was one of my favorite cartoons.
Now that is a classic. Love it dearly.
And it did that thing of being a cartoon, but the coloring on, you know, the actual darker moments.
Oh yeah. Don Bluth makes amazing, amazing animations.
And I'm still looking forward to the Dragon Lair movie.
I am cautiously excited about that. Hollywood has done so many horrible, horrible video game movies that I'm trying not to want it too badly. So if it turns out, blarg, I don't feel completely cheated.
I miss the exit spell.
The random rope that gets you out of places?
Yep. The doggo can go lay down somewhere else.
How's that ever in the history of you having a dog work?
He's looking at my bed like, there's something in the way. It's a pillow that's in the way, by the way. But he's looking confused because, oh my god, there's a pillow in the way. Let me move this gigantic obstruction of letting the dog up onto the bed.
Oh, yes.
There. Are you now,
See, I found that funny because my dog will actually use a pillow. She will lay down and put her head on the pillow. So if you don't have the pillow, she looks at you like, where's my pillow?
Yeah, that's what he will do when he wants to lay at the head of my bed. But right now, he's content to just do the puppy roll of messing up the blankets on my bed.
Of course. Well, yeah, why would you make your bed if not for the dog to make a mess?
And now the cat is going to have a feeling because the dog is in the cat's spot. Actually, no, the cat is going to have a feeling of, why aren't you petting me?
See, this whole conversation makes me want to get fish. That's the appropriate amount of cuddling on my stuff I want. Fish.
And of course, since I don't want to use my only, ether at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Because useful things are useful.
So I'm going to use some of the red mages. No, cat. Find a place and lay down.
I don't think that works either.
Oh, it's a treasure chest I missed.
You mean you somehow missed going all klepto in somebody's spot? I do think that video games essentially teach us that if you leave somebody alone for 5 minutes, they're going to steal all your crap. And they know it too. They're like not even shy about it. They're like, hey. Remember that guy who was all nice to you and left you alone in their house? Yeah, go steal all this stuff you need for the next level.
I hate that, there's some encounters that you cannot run from no matter how much you try.
Now, later, we get things like the chicken knife and Thieves' Flee ability that make running from encounters, much simpler of an object.
Technically, if I had a thief in the party, running would be, quicker, but thieves are kind of weak when they don't crit.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really get much in the way of equipment until later on in the game.
So do you feel like this game is set to favor the combo you've got? Warrior, Red Mage, White Mage, Black Mage?
For the most part, yes. Because you've got your healing spells and your damage healing spells, handled already. And you've got your offensive type. However, you can get away with having 2 warriors and then a red mage, or a white mage and a black mage.
I think you are using the exact same setup I did when I played this. Warrior tank and then one of each mage. Seems to be how I remember playing it as well. But there are other class options. These ones just seem to be the one that gives you the most flexibility. Or rather, gives you the highest survivability. Not exactly the same thing as flexibility, I suppose.
Yeah.
So let's see. Same time this was out, Mario was out, the first one. I think we may have had Mario 2 by that time. The original Legend of Zelda was out. But games were, I think, still mostly at arcades at this point.
Because we were recovering from the actual home game market crash of the early 80s. Because of games like E.T. and the port of Pac-Man to the Atari 2600.
Sort of the original shovelware, if you will.
Which I could see where E.T. was going, but that, 6 weeks of development time. It was absolute shovelware.
I can knit a pair of socks in 6 weeks, but I don't think I could code a video game in 6 weeks. 6 weeks is barely long enough to figure out, a battle system, much less a whole game.
Even then, you've got to design a battle system. And then you also have to, either draw the sprites yourself or find somebody that can. And then it just gets into the big loop of, time-consuming work.
I mean, improv is great, but at this time, I think most people had their Nintendo. And we're talking this, the NES, the old Nintendos. They had maybe, thinking about what my cousins had, they had 1 or 2 Mario games. They had Yeah, a couple Mario games. Um, Duck Hunt, which came with like every Nintendo.
Yeah, it was either Mario and Duck Hunt or Mario, or some of the later ones was actually Mario, Duck Hunt, and Track and Field, and there's even a Mario Tetris Duck Hunt cart, which is actually the rarest of the three, of the four, I should say.
Yeah, I think Mario, Duck Hunt, Zelda, and maybe one or two other games, but there wasn't, it's not like now where you can have, 20 flavors of your specific subgenre. And I love how video games have expanded, where if you, love a certain thing, here's 20 other things. Steam is amazing for, knowing, okay, well, you like game A and game B, so try C. And usually they're pretty darn spot on.
It's sort of like the one game that, Maggie is losing her mind over, Dead Cells or whatever it is, which takes the great, combat system of a Castlevania game and mixes it with, the style of Metroid. And then adds in roguelike elements where every run is different. And you've got a game that you can spend hours upon because it doesn't get old.
And that is, gold standard right there. Not only does it have replayability, that's great that you physically can, but do you want to? Because I've ended games and I've been like, oh man, I can't believe it's over. And I've, ended games where I still had, 20 hours of content, but I'm sick of it by now. And for some of the later Final Fantasies, that might be a thing where, yes, we're done with the main game, but now we've unlocked this super secret deep dungeon of 100 levels, and do we really want to slog through it when there's no more story and plot? And those are going to be...
a game should unlock, the side content when you're slowly going through the game. But some of the Final Fantasies didn't do that.
I'm thinking about 10, where you got the dungeon with the tomeberries after you finish the main game, and now here's more. Also, have you ever noticed how everyone in these villages look exactly alike? Are we on the, world of completely inbredness? Every villager has blue hair, blue eyes, and the same color skin. Next time over, every villager has, red hair, green eyes, same skin color. Next one, there is all the dwarves. Like, no one ever leaves the village. Clearly, monsters are gonna eat them. And second of all, yep, see? They're all... Okay, one girl with green hair. That's her cousin.
A dwarf, an old man, yeah.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of... See?
I'm gonna need that knight's armor because,
Yeah, I think the only reason the one hair is green is because that's a girl.
At least in later Final Fantasy games, there was a little more variety, even if it was just a recolor of NPC A with, red instead of blue.
I mean, not mad at it, but it just, going through that village reminds me of like Minecraft, where every single villager looks the same. Can't believe with that really regrettable nose choice.
Yeah.
And it's not jarring until you get to the point where you get into, oh, now your villagers can have babies, and you realize that half of those were female. And you're like, oh, what a lovely house you have now. as you're, slowly breaking apart the book blocks in their house to fuel your library income.
Wow, this golem has the booty.
And he has been doing the running man since we were last here. Yeah, you're right. That golem has a heck of a boot. What is he doing? You know what? Crunch, munch, nothing tastier than rubies. You brought him French fries, didn't you? You went out for his fries.
Yes. You know how we were speaking of optional content in the game?
Mm-hmm.
We're slowly coming up to our first chance to do some of the optional stuff.
Nice.
That they added in the remake. However, there was still, one optional thing in the original Final Fantasy that you didn't have to do. However...
Redoing it?
No, redoing it. Because it unlocks the class upgrades.
Oh, well, I think we need those.
Well, it allows the, warrior to become a knight, which unlocks, the ability to have 1 through 3 levels of white magic. Red mages get more powerful spells. Same with white and black, mages.
Mm-hmm.
Monks become masters, which just increases their damage that they do. Let's see. Thieves become ninjas, which allows them to cast black magic. Level 1 to 3. Which, haste.
Comes in handy.
Haste and, temper, the two, black magic buffing spells.
Mm-hmm. Well, even now, haste on ninjas is a thing.
Yeah. This is where it all started. And then, of course, ninjas throughout the Final Fantasy series has been known to have fast attack.
Mm-hmm.
You would think
Well,
there'd
yes.
be stuff in the pots, but there's not.
Well, yeah, because if they see you, coming, then you're not exactly sneaking up on them now, are you? See, this is a game where, unlike the pottery-based, Zelda, where...
Hey, Sadie, we're talking to Sada.
Apparently, So, if I've got an inner child, is this my inner old man? Do I want an inner old man? Life is full of questions. We now have the Earth Rod.
Which means we can break that plate that we saw behind the vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we can finally restore the land to what it once was.
That is some paint with all the colors of the wind magic there, by the way.
Well, kill whatever's poisoning the earth, and then the earth should restore itself. Oh, recover, I should say, but
As long as you don't start asking me how high a sycamore grows, we're fine. And am I the only one who noticed during that whole Colors of the Wind thing that all the houses in Pocahontas villages were actually made of wood? You don't get to question people cutting down trees when your house is made of a tree. Maybe you do, just saying. A little hypocritical, honey.
remind Kua that we're currently streaming if he wants to watch us play some more Final Fantasy 1. Because I know he pops his head in when we're recording. He's just on a little later than normal.
Already ahead of me.
Because of course you hear the little bleeps and bloops of Skype going on in the background.
I take my co-commentating job very seriously. I'm to make sure you get lost, that everybody is, you know, entertained to the best of your ability, and to answer questions like, hey, where's the stream? Mostly in that order, by the way.
Yeah. I'm trying to think why I didn't get any spells for the Red Mage at level 3.
Because you were broke. You were broke. That's why you didn't buy any Red Mage level 3 spells.
Not level 3, level 4. I guess I should go pick up, Null Frost.
Probably.
I will be doing that off camera because...
Backtracking, yo.
Backtracking. That, and we've... encounters. Oh my god, these encounters.
Well, yeah, man. At some point, we do get an item very similar to the Repel in Pokemon that slows down those encounters. But right now, Chibi's just Hondo, you know. We are true one. And that's okay.
I could go sequence break and go pick up something, but I'm not going to right now.
A Hyena Dawn. I don't even know what that's trying to be right now.
But I killed it, so it was marked as killed in my bestiary.
And really, isn't that what it's all about? That does bring up a great question, though. Because you and I know what kind of gamers we are, like, you know, kicking back on a Tuesday night. What sort of gamers are we when we stream, though? Are we a completionist? Are we going to walk up all 100 flights of stairs to get that one chest in 8 so we have every single item? Are we going to say, F it, it's a potion and it's 100 flights of stairs?
It depends on how we feel about the game.
That is probably a fair summary.
Honestly, since we're playing this version of the, you know, Final Fantasy 1, we're gonna show off the added content because it's a love, you know, it's a love letter to Final Fantasy 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And all of those are worthy things to adore.
I mean, yeah, we'll have to go through the dungeons 4 times to fight all 4 bosses.
But really, what else you got going on with your life, Chips?
As long as we get 1 or 2 viewers on each stream, I'll keep streaming.
Those gargoyles are a really regrettable design choice, though.
Which is why they're gonna get a fire 3.
Like, every time I see them, I'm like, this is the best you got, really?
do you think? Eventually will we stream our Final Fantasy 14 adventures?
I am conflicted about that. We've tried very hard to keep Epic Line Saplings, teen and child friendly. And as the boys have grown older, it's become something we've had to be more cautious of because, of course, they've gone older. Their language has gone a little rougher. But on the flip side of things, I swear a lot when we play. So that's going to have to come down to, look, you've heard, man, I straight up channel Gordon Ramsay when runs go bad, and whether or not that is something that I want everybody to partake of. It's going to have to be some deciding points on that one. So I'm not saying no, I'm saying I'd have to be very aware of the amount of verbiage coming out right now.
I know once we start RimWorld again, I think we should stream it on, actually stream that instead of recording.
And I agree, because RimWorld is a game where there's not a good start and stop. Like right now we're recording Stardew, and because of the day cycle in there, it stops, every half hour, so you run to the next day. So it has a very clearly, start here, stop there portion the whole time. RimWorld, every time you think you've caught your breath, the next napalm from
incoming raid, or incoming mad animal, or enjoy the plague plus blight plus, a
nuclear
solar eclipse plus.
I've decided that RimWorld is a game that just kind of hates its players. That said, I love it. It might be the hardest game I've played in ages, but I love it.
And I love that, the AI can take, pity on you. Or it could just,
hate you extra.
It just toss you into a blender. And trust me, I still want to make my goal of having baked all of the goods in the modded RimWorld. Because that's all I wanted. My colony was going to be a bunch of fat princesses.
That is the most worthy of goals right there. For those of you who are completely confused, look below or off to the side here. I'm pointing like you can see, and find the playlist for me and Chibi playing RimWorld together. We did pretty well. One of us got off planet and one of us kept dying horrible screaming deaths every episode? Every other episode?
It depends, because we both switched off on the dying horribly.
Yeah. But yes, if you've not yet found RimWorld, you should go watch it. Not right now, obviously we're streaming, but definitely put it on your watch later list. If you haven't subscribed yet, obviously subscribe, because otherwise you'll miss the notifications when we do live stream. And 30 years of Final Fantasy to get through is a lot of live streaming.
And I think we're going to be at this for months, if we're only doing an hour per. Well, technically we're doing 2 or so hours today, just because...
Same the thing.
Because there are various nerdy people running around.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically I could leave off at a cliffhanger here.
Oh, you could.
But we're already here, so we might as well just finish the Cavern of Earth so we can go to the optional place next time.
We should. So let's finish up the Cavern of Earth. I don't think we've got much more to do.
Probably a couple side rooms and whatever the actual boss of this place is.
Mm-hmm.
Still kind of annoyed at the paralyze.
Well, isn't everybody? It's still annoying.
And yet we can't have access to it.
That is correct. We, as players, do not have access to the spell Paralyze in Final Fantasy XIV. Now, we did in 11 with things like Ice Spikes and then straight up having Paralyze as an ability.
Does it make you slightly upset that we don't have it, or is it one of those take it or leave it?
I miss Ice Spikes as a specific form of Paralyze. How that worked is that as a mage, you would cast it on yourself, and if something hit you, there's a chance that it would paralyze them, making it so that their auto attacks would be interrupted.
Or well, I don't know how it was on 11, but in 14, you have a chance of being interrupted with each attack, but it wasn't. It's not usually a guaranteed paralyze.
So when they hit you, it wasn't 100% guaranteed that they would get the effect of paralyze, but every time they hit you, there was a chance that they would be paralyzed, and then they'd miss 2 or 3 auto attacks in a row. So it massively cut down how much damage you took. And then since they would take small amounts of damage every time, you could, in theory, stick Stone Skin on yourself, cast Ice Spikes, and let a mob paralyze itself to death.
In Final Fantasy 1.0, for a bit, we actually did have the various spiked moves. And then they took it away from Conjurers and Thaumaturges. But a Thaumaturge had this one ability that would restore your MP depending on how much damage you took, while nullifying some of the damage. Now, you could actually combine that with another move that comes from White Mage, or, well, Conjurer, that would make any spell and ability in AoE. So you could give it to your entire party, and they could, restore their MP and take less damage from attacks. But those two things are something that we lost out on the conversion from 1.0 to 2.0.
So, getting back to your earlier question on Final Fantasy XIV, I do think that we ought to stream, a selection from there. Maybe, 2 or 3 of our favorite dungeons each, kind of give people a taste of what it is. But I can't see, right now I'm in collecting up points for a relic item. And I'm throwing myself at the same, set of content over and over and over again. And imagine watching me die for the 50th time in PvP. It might, lose a bit of its giggleness. But that said, I think we should definitely do a couple streams or a couple recordings showing some of the variety of ways that Sadie dies. Because there are many and varied. Trolls, now that's a new one. He looks like he's covering his ears and stole the whole expanse. I'm not even sure what's up with that character model.
And now we have various mobs. I don't think we've seen the ogre mage before. However, we're going to attempt to silence them if we don't kill them first.
Always a solid plan. Also, the purple hyenodons, those are new as well. Or, I'm sorry, blue. Swear I passed Sesame Street, I know my colors.
Okay, those are actual encounter squares, which is a good way to farm up EXP if you find one that you can easily farm with, you know, a high-end monster. Like, technically, when we were still weak little, you know, characters, we could have farmed the Hyso demons way back in the Marsh Cave, if we really wanted to. But they kicked our butts back then, so we used the Peninsula of Powder instead.
Now here's the Sphinxes, again with the new models. I do rather like these. We see something similar with the Chimeras that we have in 14. Of course, with additional heads, but the main body and wing configuration is identical.
But we don't have actual Sphinx.
Not yet.
I think since we're going to, you know, deeper into the desert, we might see them.
That could be.
Along with some of the Chinese, you know, inspired creatures.
Yep.
If we're going to the Far East.
I am looking forward to the next expansion. It comes out in exactly 1 month.
And we will try not to spoil the story for anybody who's watching the stream, because...
Nope, no story spoilers. Because it's just rude.
And here we have me being lost.
The natural state of the chibi in the wild.
I'll kill another troll because why not?
Back in the days before trolls were entirely on the internet.
Some more Pyso demons. Now they don't do much to us anymore.
Probably for the best. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not like, hey, Bob, come here and eat my face. I might be underachieving. Always room, but that's a possibility. But you probably don't want things to go eat your face.
I'm glad Petrify really doesn't have too many things that can use it in 14.
Yeah, it's mostly on a handful of bosses.
And at least they removed the insta-death if you were stoned and then got hit. Because that's how the Lamia of Turn 7 was way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can help getting stoned and then targeted by an attack.
That sounds about right. Although I'm going to say that sometimes you can't help getting stoned. Probably not the best thing to say to the police.
Of course, there's some things that you can't seem to run from, even if you're over-leveled compared to them now.
They simply want to eat your face.
They look like they should be spellcasters, but they're not.
That confuses me as well. They really ought to be, but they're not.
Oh look, I found my way back up.
Yay!
Not where I was going.
Oh. Yeah, well, that might be a thing. So what you're saying is, and then we got lost.
Yes.
Which might be the other thing with our, we're always lost.
Yeah. Yay, preemptive strike. Let's run away.
Yeah, it just doesn't want to let you out of this dungeon.
I'm just trying to find the boss.
Alright, you've gone through the vampire's room, exit via the eastern door, and head along the path to the Grave Rock. Use the Earth Rod, use it to go down. Do you know your way to where you come down behind the Earth Rod tablet?
I found the way down.
Good, because I give crap directions.
I always try to run from these, and then it's like, oh yeah, you can't run from them.
So, what sort of minimap do you prefer in games? Ones that rotate, so that the map is looking where you're, ahead from your vantage point, or ones that are stationary and just shows your cursor rotating?
Stationary.
Me too. I think people with actual sense of directions like the rotating minimap better, but give me a stationary one with just an arrow, please, please, please. Because otherwise somebody's like, go north, and I'm looking at the compass and I'm going up, thinking that's north, and nope, I just went west.
Yep, at least Final Fantasy XIV's minimap is stationary. I mean, you can have it rotate.
But you're not forced to.
Alright. Josh gained a level.
Yay!
Oh yay, I got paralyzed.
That's your jam, man?
Now my gym is screwed. I want some toast.
You want to make the most of some toast?
Yes. I found a way back up from the 4th floor. Not what I was looking for.
Alright. You're going to get 4th floor. First go west of the open area. Go north along to the... Okay. Then go west and south from the open area. In the next room, go to the far west and north. To the northwest for a while, till you can go no more.
Yep, I found the boss.
Good. Because I give terrible directions. You did say it, right?
I did say. And then we're fighting a glitch. The Fiend of Earth.
Now, this character model is very much, again, going back to the Black Cauldron and the Horned King look, but even more so. Although, apparently he only has 3 sets of ribs. He would not make, in fact, good cookout.
And that's what I was afraid of.
That the lich would be all litchy.
Now you would paralyze.
Other than the paralyzed, though, you seem to be doing quite well. I know, famous last words.
Now, one time the actual group healing spell would come in handy.
I'm sure it won't be the last.
And now he's trying to put everyone to sleep. No, he's trying to put my fighter to sleep.
Of course.
And there we go. We have defeated the first elemental fiend. And now we can restore our light to the crystal of earth.
Very good. Do you think they call him Rocky? You know, back at the theme bar. Because ever since Wreck-It Ralph, I kind of love the idea that video game villains all hang out together for, like, emotional support.
And that most of the villains aren't exactly villains.
They're not bad guys, they're just bad guys.
Yep. And then now we can enter the first optional dungeon.
Well, that seems like a mighty fine place to start next week's stream.
Yep.
For a
I
moment I
don't
saw-
know why we get a staff at this point.
Made since the time.
I do want to look
Because-
at something.
Because of the font they pick, it looks like it says, you know, Cavern of Earth BS.
Alright, I'm going to save, and this is where we're going to call it here for now. This is Shubi,
And Sadie.
and we shall see you next Sunday, more or less.
Come find us here next Sunday. We'll be streaming episode 6. And I don't know what's coming next. I haven't read the FAQ. It's been a while. Be nice. No, we did 2 streams back to back today. So I'm out of prep work. So join us for section 6, where we will try not to get horribly lost. We have our first crystal captured. We've got 3 more to go. And yeah, into the breach.
The optional dungeon breach.
Going down optional breaches, eh? Okay. Come back next week for pants.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.